Sorry, yo, Big D, ready to rumble, talk all things Championship Sunday. Congrats to the Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots for booking spots in Super Bowl 60. And, it's a lot to discuss. Controversy, grading the officials, broadcasters, quarterbacks. By the way, Sam Darnold and Drake May are going to be in the Super Bowl. Did anybody have Seahawks Patriots rematch of Super Bowl 49 in a couple weeks? I certainly didn't, but there might be somebody with a 60 or an 80 to 1 ticket on the winner of the winner of the game in a couple weeks. I wonder if somebody's got like 500 on the Seahawks or Patriots. Patriots, that would be something. That would be something. But tune into the but you can check out the stream, my personal Facebook page, Twitch, at wait, let me see what it is on Twitch. The Big D 3300, Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page, Driving to the Top Productions, and all sorts of other sites. So two completely different games. One, a high scoring shootout. One, snowtastic game in Denver, and two equally deserving teams that are going to play for the Lombardi Trophy. And right now, I think there are two teams right now that have to be pulling out their hair. Hi, Crockman. Yes, thank you. Hi. First off, thank you, T-Pack. So, first off, the Minnesota Vikings are pulling out the hair because the quarterback they got rid of, Sam Darnold, is going to the Super Bowl. And tonight, Sam Darnold showed all the talent, all the maturity. Thank you, Crockmans. And all the ingenuity of being a franchise quarterback. And tonight, Sam Darnold was tremendous. Despite the oblique injury, he threw for 346, 3 touchdowns, 127.8 passer rate. And in this game, I thought Sam made a number of key throws in this game. The touchdown pass to a JSN. The touchdown to Jake Bobo, and then the touchdown to Cooper Kupp. But it seemed like, for whatever reason, despite hitting Sam a couple times, the Rams were unable to rattle Sam. And in this game, I thought the Rams were going to come after Sam knowing he wasn't 100%. With the oblique injury, instead they sat back, turned out to be a mistake, and in many ways, I think showed the weakness with the Rams. The Rams have a really good front seven, but LA's weakness on the back end, cornerback, and it sure looked that way against Jackson Smith and Jacob Cooper Kupp tonight. But question was, how would the Seahawks do without Zach Charbonnet? Turns out Zach Charbonnet's a lot better than we thought, because Seattle's run game really wasn't great tonight. I mean, Seattle only ran the ball for 75 yards. It was all on Sam Darnold. I mean, yeah, Kenneth Walker did get some good plays, not just as a runner, but a receiver. But it was all on Sam tonight. And by golly, in the biggest game of his career, Sam didn't look like a ghost. In fact, he scared the Ram defense. And I'll go more into Sam later. I want to talk about the scoring. Let me see. Scoring. Kenneth Walker got things scoring, a touchdown. Some Mevis field goal, traded field goals for a while. Then Colin caught a touchdown pass, put the Rams briefly ahead. JSN got a touchdown late at the end of the first half. Then Bobo, after the muff punt, put the Seahawks up 11. Devontae, surprise, scored. And then Cooper Cup, revenge game, and Puka doing his thing. Question going to be asked about Sean McVay. By the way, the picture behind me is a Trevor Lawrence picture, and I have a Jag towel outside wall. But question going to be, did you teach science in the? No, no. I wish I was a meteorologist chasing hurricanes and the winter storm everywhere, but no. But I think question going to be asked in Sean McVay. How he handled the first half, basically giving the Seahawks a chance to score. And then, all this talk about Chris Shula being a head coach and Wayne. Where was the defense tonight? Sam threw for 350. Jackson Smith and Jigma did whatever he wanted to. And there was really no pressure from the Rams. I mean, I'm surprised the Rams didn't come after or hurt Sam Darnold tonight. And yes, if you know me, my voice a little bit, I'm fighting a little cold, but you know what? And then fourth quarter, I'll talk about the questionable calls later. Why didn't the Rams challenge the spot, A, whether or not Cooper Kupp got the first down, or B, whether or not Kupp caught the ball? Because the Rams ended up taking a timeout, but then chose not to challenge, thinking that be the last time out. The Rams didn't want to lose 2 timeouts. But in many ways, that might have been the ball game. Because if the Rams get the spot turnover, or better yet, it's an incomplete pass, the Rams get the ball back, a chance to win the game. And also, you could argue the Rams could have gone for 2 on either one of the third quarter touchdowns because the Rams missed on fourth down late in the fourth quarter. Instead of going for it, could have kicked the field goal. You argue down 4 is weird because kick the field goal, down 1. But if the Seahawks score a touchdown, could go for 2, make it 9. But if the Rams get the ball back, down 1 instead of 4, only need a field goal. So now I'm talking analytics for an hour and a half, which I might be, but for all this talk about Sean McVay coaching genius, that was not a good game for his defense. And honestly, I think we know what the Rams need in the draft. They need a corner, safety, wide receiver, and another right tackle. Hopefully Stafford comes back. And I want to talk about Stafford for a little bit, and then I'll talk more about the game. Matthew Stafford's one of my favorite quarterbacks. This guy is probably Stafford and Jared Goff are probably the last. How you doing, brother? You know what? My voice isn't great, but you know what? We're holding it up. I think Matthew Stafford's a Hall of Fame quarterback, and Stafford's done more with less than almost anybody I can remember. And Stafford played the first 12 years of his career in Detroit behind a terrible franchise, no offensive line, and really, I think it was underappreciated. Now he's got Sean McVay. We're seeing the real Matthew Stafford. And tonight, I hope this is not Stafford's last game, but Stafford's one heck of a gunslinger. And, hey, close to 22, 35, 374, 3 touchdowns, great passer rate. And frankly, in many ways. Stafford made unbelievable throws. Devontae, Puka, Kyron on that. Kyron. It was unbelievable that Seattle played that much man to man. They really came after. 12s really came after Stafford, which surprised me because Mike McDonald's not really a man to man head coach or defensive coordinator. But that sure changed tonight. And in many ways, I think it shows you get the quarterback, get the head coach, all of a sudden you go from the outhouse to the penthouse. Talk about that with New England coming up later. But, you know, Stafford was never going to win a championship in Detroit. Rams got him. Won a Super Bowl. You could argue being another one. And look at the Seahawks. I mean, Pete Carroll was an aging defensive coach. The Seahawks didn't get one of these hot, young offensive mind coaches, got the defensive mind coach, and then upgrade from Geno Smith to Sam Darnold, and now look, they're in a Super Bowl. And, I think people underestimate John Stein because of Pete Carroll, but John Stein did a great job building the Legion of Boom defense and an unbelievable job with his team. Taking all the draft picks, not just from Russell Wilson, but Geno and DK Metcalf, getting all kinds of guys. Jack Smith and Jigba was the top 2-3 receiver in the game. The Witherspoon cornerbacks, the top 3 corner in football. Defensive line guys everywhere. Marcus Lawrence, wow, that guy's so good at 33. Guys everywhere. Safety, the Eamon Moyd safety from South Carolina, looks like another Cam Chancellor or Thomas back there. And offensively, Walker, Cooper Kupp having a big revenge game. Bonner, Shaheed. Yeah, it turns out Shaheed can play for the 12s. Maybe the Bills could have used him, but that's a story for another day. Gray Zabel, the one of my favorite linemen coming out of North Dakota State. And I think it shows talent, not just from GM, coach, quarterback, but the whole roster. This Seattle defense team is young, fast, aggressive, and take chances. Even on that last drive, the Seahawks took chances. I mean, Darnold got the penalty on the hole in a cup. Seahawks were throwing when a lot of teams would have been, let's just run it. Let's just run. 12s are like, now we'll throw it. We got Sam. And it worked. 12s were aggressive and then took advantage. And, there were a couple big plays, especially in around halftime, third, fourth quarter, changed things. The Rams were up, I think it was 13-10. Got the ball like a minute and a half left, but didn't run out the clock. And then Sam hit JSN to put the Seahawks up. LA never led the rest of the game. Now, worse if you're the Rams, go into halftime up 13-10. Instead, the Seahawks win in the halftime, not just with the lead, but the ball and momentum. And it turned out, Rams are fine with 1 foot in the bucket, and then, LA's special teams unit has been a disaster for years, and it bit him in the butt again. Xavier Smith muffed the punt, and 12, just like John Harbaugh, and just like Mike McDonald's former coach in Baltimore, 12s took advantage. Next play, Sam Darnold hit Jake Bow before a touchdown. Simple. We all love Sean McVay as the head coach. But the Rams cannot make those fundamental mistakes. It allowed a punt return touchdown when these teams met in Week 16, which might have cost the Rams home field. A punt block, and almost knocked them out of the play. I almost cost them the wild card game. You see sometimes these Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan coaches, even last week, the 49ers allowed a kickoff for a touchdown the first play of the game. And in many ways, I know some people disagree with me. I think the better team, maybe defense-wise, won, but overall, especially offensively, I think the better team lost. Sam Darnold's great, Jason's great, Kenneth Walker, but I think we all would say Matt Stafford's a better quarterback. Devontae, Puka. And this is 2 years in a row when I feel like the Rams could have, and probably in other circumstances, should have at least been in the Super Bowl, if not win the Super Bowl. Because honestly, I'm looking at the early line for the Super Bowl. It started, Seattle -3.5, Seattle 4.5 now. I think that number will go up. But not to take anything away from the Rams, I think Seattle, I don't know what it is. That crowd and Lumen Field is nuts. I don't know if the Seattle fans are over-caffeinated, over-corporated, but the Seattle fans make a difference. And it's very difficult to win an NFC Championship game on the road against that good of a team. And I think in many ways, who knows if Seattle could make a run, 2-3 Super Bowls, just like the Legion of Boom did. But this team's certainly good enough to make a run at Super Bowls. Now we get to the fun part. By the way, how about NBC? Did Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl 49 now do Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl 60? Not too shabby, right? I think I want to talk about a couple of those questionable calls. The Wooden play where he was yapping at the Ram bench. I don't love that being called, but that's just a dumb penalty. You could just shoot. The Seahawks are up 11. They're going to get the ball back. It's 4th and a mile. Instead, very next play, Stafford hits Puka for a touchdown. That penalty cost the Seahawks 7 points. And in many ways, I think the biggest call of the night, especially in this game, was that third down pass to Cooper Kupp from Saint. The referees gave Cooper Kupp the first down. A, did Cooper Kupp catch the ball? And B, did Kupp reach the ball over the marker? Refs gave him the first down. Rams took the timeout. Didn't want to challenge and use up both timeouts. But B, the NFL put in a virtual measurement. And we didn't see that in play during the Patriot Bronco game or this game. I think in that spot, in that situation, a virtual measurement would have maybe not answered everything, but that would have at least said, okay, if it's a whole ball over the marker, then it's a first down. Or if it's short, centimeters short, because in 2026, how is the NFL guessing whether or not somebody got a first down based on like reaching the ball, somebody's butt hitting the grass, or you know, all kinds of freaky plays. I mean, we'll talk about touch pushes and everywhere everywhere when it comes to New England, Denver in a minute. I think some fans might be trying to clear out the snow, and I know there's all kinds of weather issues throughout much of the country. Teams can't even leave because of snow. I think the Patriots are ending up spending the night in Denver. And I wonder what kind of room service. By the way, Dan Orlovsky tweeted this in Seattle this year. Stafford's 51-84, 831 yards, 6 touchdowns, 0-2. And if Chris Shula gets a job, it's because he was with Sean McVay. But yet, Brandon Staley got a job because he was this DC with Sean McVay, and he absolutely blew it. Some of these guys haven't worked out. Like Mike Holmgren assistant did pretty well. Um, that muff punt could have been the difference in a game where there was one turnover. That muff punt may have given Seattle 7 points. And it turned out to be the difference in a game that was played. You know, I think the question, Sean McVay could even be asked the question, why didn't you kick 4th and 4? Maybe if it's 21-38, McVay's like, yeah, I'll kick. We saw Mike Vrabel kick, but that's a different situation in New England, Denver. But, it's weird because we have a quarterback Sam Darnold was the number 5 pick coming out of USC 2018. Obviously, number 3 pick in a draft with Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. And yet Sam Darnold got to a Super Bowl before Lamar or Josh. That's weird. Sam Darnold has been to more Super Bowls than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson combined. Turn out, when you're on the right team, you can go somewhere. And, Sam never really had a chance in the Jets. Carolina, I thought that Sam actually played well, got rid of him. San Francisco actually got to sit and watch. And then Minnesota, Sam was really good last year, and yet the Vikings got rid of him. And I bet you Kevin O'Connell was thinking, that could have been us. If we have Sammy, we end up in the Super Bowl deep in the playoffs. Everybody's like, well, Sam got sacked 8 or 9 times. I'm like, I've seen Joe Burrow get sacked 8 or 9 times in a playoff game and beat the Titans. And frankly, We think, well, Sam's only this because of the USC quarterback. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter what somebody went to college. College. I mean, Sam went to USC. Drake May went to North Carolina. Matthew Stafford went to Georgia. ACC, SEC, Big Ten now. Pac-12 now Big Ten, but quarterbacks go to all kinds of colleges. Now back to the Rams. Could you argue the Rams should have been? Yes. Matthew Stafford and the offense was certainly good enough to win both games. But yet defensively, the Rams shot themselves in the foot. They gave up 70 points to the Seahawks. Made way too many mistakes. They let Jackson Smith and Jigba turn into the second coming of Steve Largent. And a game the 12s could have, the Rams could have and probably should have won, they lost. And this is. You could argue in many ways. You could argue in many ways, and I don't think Sean McVay will have probably said our defense didn't make enough plays. Replay review, or maybe not replay, maybe in those key situations, one time, if it's the last 5 minutes of game, maybe. We don't want a game lasting 3.5 hours, 4 hours, but there's no other game watching. Nobody's going anywhere. Maybe there's a chance that somebody could have, that at worst a virtual measurement, or somebody could have looked at that play and double checked whether or not A, Cup caught the ball, and B, whether or not he grabbed, because he could have fumbled for all we know. But for the Rams, this has got to be another gut punch. We know Sean McVay's a great coach. Stafford's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Puka's amazing. But question going to be asked, does Stafford come back? Puka's going to get a big deal. Some of these guys on defense are going to get big deals. The Rams have 2 first-round picks. I think 12 and 29. Do the Rams package those picks and get a young quarterback? Or does Matthew Stafford say, you know what, I'm going to come back for 1 or 2 more years, get me the best sleeping roster you can, let's go win another Super Bowl? Because you could argue in many ways that Ram team should have been in the Super Bowl last year, and certainly offensively should have been in the Super Bowl this year. There were 2 weeks in the ring. Special teams and the secondary. If you look at the Rams offensively, the Rams offense is certainly Super Bowl caliber. They have the MVP of the league. 2 great running backs. 2 excellent wide receivers. More tight ends than I can count. The Rams need to get another wide receiver, another right tackle, and another corner. They could do that in the first 3 rounds. Plus, I think the Rams have a ton of cap space. Now, some of that might go to Puka, some of the pass rushers, but still. Assume if Stafford comes back, I think this Ram team is certainly capable of ending up in SoFi. Oh, wait, that's where the next Super Bowl is. Very interesting. So the 12s are going to the Super Bowl in the Bay Area, and the Seahawks opponent will be a familiar one. That would be the New England Patriots. By the way, how about Patriots Super Bowl rematch Super Bowl 49 instead of Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick. Mike McDonald, Mike Vrabel, Sam Darnold, Drake May. And, everybody wants to poo-poo the New England Patriots because they haven't beaten anybody, but it's not the Patriots' problem. It's not the Patriots' problem if Bo Nix gets hurt, or the Patriots played the weakest schedule in 10 years. I think the Patriots won today because New England executed Denver late in the game. New England ran the ball. And with the weather turning in Denver, New England's ability to run the ball mattered. Because New England could grind out enough plays. And for Denver, everybody's going to say the issues. Well, Bo Nix the reason why we lost. Perhaps. But today, the Denver offense did not make enough plays. And particularly the running game was very disappointing. Broncos only ran the ball 79 yards. And only went 4 of 14. It's not like New England was going on third down either. 6 of 18. But we all like R.J. Harvey. He only got 37 rushing yards. I mean, Jarrett Stidham was throwing and probably threw way too much. And in a game where New England's offense really didn't do much, guess what New England did? They went old school. Ran the ball with Amon receivers. Everybody's like, Travian Henderson. The Patriots know who they want. Travian Henderson, not a guy to run in between the tackles. Guy to run deep and to make the big plays. But Travian's got that power. And in the snow, the cold, the wind, Ramondre's got that power and that patience to make plays. And we saw Ramondre make plays tonight. And for Drake May, statistically, this was by far not his best game. But in the big moments, the third down run, the scramble touchdown, Drake May showed why the Patriots made him Tom Brady 2.0. I'm not saying Drake May will be Tom Brady 2.0. Not saying that at all. But Drake May's got every chance to do it. He's got a great head coach in Mike Vrabel, an unbelievable offense coordinator in Josh McDaniels, a good and getting better offense line, and I think the Patriots offense line will be better next year if and when they draft the right tackle. But I think what we forget about the Patriots, they're fundamentally sound. The Patriots don't always have the greatest wide receivers. They don't have the greatest running backs, tight ends, or defense. But what New England does to teams, much like what the Patriots did in the early 2000s, this is not the 2017, this is not. This team reminds me so much of those early Patriot teams with Brady, Belichick, 2001, 3, and 4. Great quarterback on a young guys coming of age. And today, the Patriots defense made enough plays. I mean, Christian Gonzalez in a matchup of probably the two top cornerbacks in football. Christian Gonzalez was everywhere. I mean, Patrick Surtain played a really good game too. But Gonzalez not only made a big play sacking Stidham, but getting the key interception. In a game that only featured 17 points, not many big sexy highlights. Stidham found Courtland Sutton for the game touch for the first and only score for the Broncos. And then nobody scored for him. And then until late in the second quarter, Stidham fumbled on a play that was originally looked like it'd be an incomplete pass. Then it'd be what was it? Not roughing the quarterback. Then it be intentional ground. Then it was ruled a fumble. And then the Patriots ended up getting the ball. And then, excuse me, Drake May ended up scoring to make it 6-7 off all. And then Andy Bogals scored on the game-winning, scored the kicked the game-winning field goal, made it up 10-7. Honestly, they're all a couple talking points. The biggest one, if you're a Denver fan, should Sean Payton have kicked the field goal when it was 7-0 in the second quarter? Everybody goes on. I mean, my Jags went for a fourth down against Buffalo, and if we get it, we probably end up winning. These guys go for fourth down more than ever. And honestly, I don't think Sean Payton's got any regrets. You could argue maybe who knew that there'd be a blizzard in the second half, but I don't think Sean Payton made the wrong play going forward. Even a backup quarterback have to execute. Secondly, in many ways, I think Denver lost this game not because of Bo Nix's injury, but despite having a really good offensive line, for whatever reason, the Broncos could not run the ball. And New England ran the ball well enough, and that surprised me. Honestly, I expected more out of R.J. Harvey. I thought R.J. Harvey was better now. Maybe he's 24, maybe R.J. Harvey's a little fatigued from the whole season, but I thought R.J. Harvey would make a bigger difference. And I think in this game, the Broncos missed J.K. Dobbins because Dobbins possessed that game-breaking ability, a little bit more speed. McLaughlin and Harvey just feel like guys. When I look at New England's running backs, Ramondre runs with power, and Trayton brings that James White big play ability, maybe even faster than White. And then in the game, both field goal kickers were not great. I mean, if you saw the weather, that weather went from clear to holy, it's a blizzard. I mean, Bogals 1 of 3. Will Lutz, not great. In fact, on Denver's best chance, crazy play in the fourth quarter, the important play of the fourth quarter for Denver was shutting down New England, forcing a punt when the Patriots were going into the win. Bad punt. Denver gets it, and then Lutz missed the field goal. It ended up blocked. And then Drake May, a few plays later, I think after the Gonzalez pick, scampers on a little bootleg, first down, game over. And right now I mentioned one team pulling out. I say Titan fans have to be pulling out the hair because Mike Vrabel could and should be the Titan head coach. And you think, well, the Patriots being the Super Bowl bad for football. Well, people are going to watch the Super Bowl no matter if Tom Brady's in it or Drake May. This Patriot team, plays the same, but Mike Vrabel's more current than Bill Belichick. I think what happened with Belichick, and the reason why Bill Belichick and the Patriots floundered, especially when Tom Brady left, the Patriots could not draft well. And we've seen the last 2 or 3 years, New England has drafted better and better. Getting Christian Gonzalez, getting Campbell, getting these guys here, and then spending money in free agency. I mean, New England spent a lot of money in free agency, and by golly, it worked out today. Baltimore, who was the Mikael Williams, I know the Eagles miss him on the defensive line. Marcus Jones, such a nightmare as a return man. Swain was hurt, but Carlton Davis, a big, almost Super Bowl hero with the Buccaneers. And in some ways, it's not just, everybody saying, "Oh, Daniel Stein and the Washington Redskins spent money," but it's not just spending money, it's finding guys in the right areas. I honestly still think the Patriots need another draft class. This Patriot offensive line is not great. I mean, Drake May's been sacked 15 times in 3 playoff games. And I'm trying to think. I think New England's averaged, 18, 19 points in 3 games. I think the Patriots are going to have to put up more than 10 points against the Seahawks. Who knows? But, I think Drake May will put up more points in Santa Clara. Patriots didn't need to put up more points because the Bronco offense was abysmal. But I mentioned touch push. There was a play, the touch push. We've seen the touch push 1,000 times. But I think it was 4th and 1 from the 5 or 6 yard line. And Drake May runs the play, gets the first down. A, who knows whether or not May got the first down, and B, why was there no virtual measurement on that play is befuddling. In 2026, why we don't have virtual measurement. Sean Payton even challenged wondering where the spot is, knowing he probably didn't have a snowball chance and what of winning. I think questions are going to be asked whether or not Sean McVay should have gone for 2 on either one of his opportunities down 5, because then he kicks the field goal. Could wonder whether or not Sean Payton should have kicked the field goal of 7, but it's a could have, would have, should have. If the Bills get that catch last week, maybe they end up beating the Patriots, or the Jags, get that 4th down against the Bills, or maybe if the 49ers hadn't lost their whole defense, or maybe the Eagles actually knew how to call some plays. Might actually matter. Can't believe my voice is holding up, and I've been going for 43 minutes. Oof. This is longer than I thought we'd go. The Millie Maker. Let's see how bad. $20 to pop, 4.5 million on DK. Not the worst. I mean, 10 grand. It's only 100. What's the 20 max? So that's probably going to be 75 grand. 7,500. Yeah, better. Not the best, but it's certainly not the worst. See, so, it might be a familiar Super Bowl, but this game will feel very similar. By the way, I think Drake May will be the 2nd youngest quarterback to start a Super Bowl. The other guy who's younger was also played a Super Bowl in the Bay Area, and that was Dan Marino, Super Bowl 19. Fortunately, Danny never played in a Super Bowl, but that's another thing. By the way, get this. Drake May's in his 2nd year in the NFL, and will now play more Super Bowls than Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen combined. Sam Darnold will play more Super Bowls than Josh Allen right now. That doesn't seem right. Sam Darnold's the first quarterback from the 2018 draft class to make a Super Bowl. And in an era of offense, we've got maybe the two front runners for Coach of the Year. I don't know if I call Mike Vrabel a defensive guy. I call him more a culture guy. Well, Mike McDonald's incredible. I mean, the Ravens really miss him. I mean, who knows what happens with Jesse Minter, but clearly the Ravens miss Mike McDonald the last couple of years. And I think it's just crazy what can happen when a team gets a really good coach, really good quarterback. Look at the Titans right now. I mean, yeah, Robert Saleh should be good, but why did the Titans get rid of why did the Titans get rid of their coach? Because I don't know. But clearly when Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick left, change needed to be made. Both guys are Hall of Fame coaches, but we're seeing what young or younger coaches and great young quarterbacks do. You get the head coach, get the quarterback, and all of a sudden, brief preview on the Super Bowl. I think the line started Seattle -3.5. It's now 4.5. Could be Seattle -5, -6 before the game. We'll see what happens. I think both teams came out of today okay injury-wise, playing for the Patriots. But it's sort of crazy what can happen in a game. The Rams are going to be pulling out the hair. Everybody's going to have a complaint, well, the Patriots aren't the best team. So, you know what? It's not about being the best team. It's about winning the darn game. So what? The Patriots don't. You know what? The Seahawks deserve to be in the Super Bowl. They got home field, beat the Rams Week 16, beat the Rams tonight. If the Seahawks were playing any other team, this game's a blowout. The Rams are that good, that well coached. That's the reason why the game was close. Denver got home field because of the Broncos' ability to win close games, not because don't know how to coach. Absolutely. But I think everybody's just I think everybody complains too much. We should sit back and think. We got Sam Darnold. We've got Drake May in a Super Bowl. That's an amazing game. An unbelievable story. Drake May could be the youngest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. And Sam Darnold, who's been thrown down the trash dispenser by every other team in the league, could give everybody the you-know-what. And I have a cousin in Washington who's a huge Seahawks fan, might be trying to get her on the show sometime before Super Bowl Sunday. So 15 minutes. So voice still holding up, but you know what? I think it's time. So thanks for hopping on. Thanks for everybody getting in the chat. And you know what? 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl, and I'm hopping like a bunny, but not like the bunny not like the bunny doing the halftime show. But this is the Big D signing off for now.